to have you all join us once again before we continue our exploration of this at SK Associates and Group.
Purana. At SK Associates and Group, we take pride in offering tailor-made solutions to our client. Our team of transformational consultants has a deep-rooted passion for entrepreneurship, and they bring extensive experience and expertise to every project. Over the past 3 years, we have built a network of 5,000 individuals from 30 plus countries representing diverse universities, industries, and functional roles.
Our platform is bringing together over 5,000 plus associates from various backgrounds and professions, including entrepreneurs, lawyers, auditors, consultants, research scholars, bureaucrats, judges, and many more. With 500 plus speakers from 30 plus countries, we are providing a space for sharing stories and experiences to help aspiring entrepreneurs make wise business decisions. And the excitement doesn't stop here. We are planning to host 300 plus conferences in the next 25 years.
Once again, welcome everyone, and it's an honor to have you all with us. Your expertise adds a special dimension to our session, making it a unique and insightful gathering. It's wonderful to see a familiar faces and new participants joining us today. We hope you had a restful day and are ready to dive into another session filled with valuable insight and discussions.
Exactly, Aditi. Today again we have an exceptional lineup of speakers who bring a wealth of knowledge and practical insights to the table. We are grateful for all of your presence and eagerly anticipate the panelists' valuable insights and contributions in today's session. We would also like to inform all of you that the HR team is conducting polls in the chat box throughout the session. We encourage active participation from all attendees. So without further delay, let's introduce our guest for today.
Our first speaker is Dr. Shrayu Bhakare. She is a professor in commerce in Symbiosis College of Arts and Commerce, Pune. She specializes in teaching entrepreneurship and sustainability management. Her qualifications are MCOM, MPhil, PGDBM, DTL, DCM, and PhD in Business Administration. She has 20 years of teaching experience. She is also the faculty of for honors and ACCA program in Symbiosis College. She is a PhD guide in the subject of business administration. Further, I would like to invite Dr. Shrayu to share her perspective.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. And it's my pleasure to be associated with Strategic Alliance team. And I would like to thank you all for this opportunity given to address, I think, quite a big group of faculties in the field of entrepreneurship teaching, which is a very challenging job as a teacher. So just to give you a brief about myself, I work in Symbiosis College of Arts and Commerce, Pune, which falls under the Savitribai Phule Pune University. I head the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and I am also the head of the Department of Entrepreneurship in this college. Um, I have over 20 years of experience in teaching entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship development. I have recently been awarded the most innovative teacher award from the Savitribai Phule Pune University. So that was a recent achievement which I would wanted to share because it was based on the work which I am doing in the field of entrepreneurship. So thank you once again to the team who is here to welcome me. And good afternoon to all the participants. Just give me 2 minutes before I share my PowerPoint. I hope this is visible to everybody.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, how many? I don't know whether I will be able to, see your hands raised. But yes, how many of you here? You can maybe open your mic and say, teach entrepreneurship in colleges. Or how many of you believe that entrepreneurship needs to be taught? Maybe imbibed. Okay, that's nice. So I can see one hand raised. Okay. So it's a very positive sign that a lot of teachers, specifically in the higher education sector, now are coming forward to teach entrepreneurship, to groom students to become entrepreneurs. So we may not literally teach entrepreneurship in classes, but we surely would love to groom our students as entrepreneurs, because India needs job creators. If you look at the scenario of India in the last few years, we have unemployment rate which is going up, and there are multiple reasons. And I always feel that students who come into the higher education sector and who have the capacity could be trained and could be envisioned, they could be given a vision to become entrepreneurs. And that is what we do at the Symbiosis College of Arts and Commerce. So I have been teaching entrepreneurship, as I said, for 20 years. I teach the undergraduate students, I also teach the postgraduate students. But besides just teaching entrepreneurship, I also mentor them, train them, so that is also something which we do outside the class. So my initiatives are spread across two dimensions. One is where I teach students in the class and groom them to become entrepreneurs within four walls of the classroom. That is one dimension of my grooming students to become entrepreneurs. The second is beyond classroom, so which I strongly believe in. So I feel that, of course, entrepreneurship cannot be taught, but it can surely be imbibed. So that is something which we do at our college, that we imbibe entrepreneurship in students within the classroom, and outside the classroom we handhold students to start their own businesses. So basically my talk for the next 20 minutes, half an hour, it's going to be on whatever efforts I have been doing in Symbiosis College of Arts and Commerce, and which have actually accumulated into a lot of my students going ahead to become entrepreneurs. So you cannot have your student becoming an entrepreneur in a jiffy, and I'm sure a lot of our faculty here agree with me. You cannot say that okay, आज आप business idea मेरे सामने लेके आओ और कल business चालू करो. This is not a process which happens in a jiffy. It is a time consuming process. It's a process, right? And I always believe that it's a creative process, it's an innovative process, it's a scientific process. And as entrepreneurship teachers, educators, we need to be very patient with our students, because the fruits of entrepreneurship training, grooming, you will get only after a certain number of years. So let me begin by sharing that whichever students were trained under me, groomed under me in becoming entrepreneurs or in developing an entrepreneurial mindset, they came back to me after they graduated, maybe after 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. And after that, they said that, ma'am, whatever we learned or we were taught or we did in the college under these initiatives has helped us, and today we have the courage and the risk taking ability to start the business. And I'm sitting in my cabin, and you may notice that there's a lot of creative stuff happening behind me. So that is because all entrepreneurial minds work with me. So I groom students to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. So that is the objective. um, just a sec. So can you see the objective slide, everybody? If you can just say yes, it will be better. Is it possible, Neha, for you to see the objective
Uh,
slide?
it's not visible, Shirayuji.
Okay, fine. That means I'm not able to. Fine. No issues. I can share this slide. Is this
Yeah, now it's visible.
okay? Fine. So, if you look at this, as a teacher in entrepreneurship, or if you are an educator in entrepreneurship, you need to be very clear with your objectives. That this is what my goal is, that I'm going to train students to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. And that is a goal which I have kept for so many years, right? Consistently and persistently. A lot of times there have been experiences that where maybe a student has, even after taking efforts, has thought about going for a job. It's perfectly all right, but you have made that effort, and somewhere that effort has percolated. So one aim and one objective for you is extremely important, that yes, I want this student sometime in life to become an entrepreneur. Remember, as faculties, you cannot expect इमीडिएट इमीडिएट आउटकम, हम इमीडिएट रिजल्ट नहीं एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते इन द फील्ड ऑफ entrepreneurship education. I have experienced that it's easy for students to get jobs, if they are qualified, if they have certain number of skills. So job seekers are more and much more in number than you will see students who aspire to become entrepreneurs. And therefore, it's again a big challenge for you as an entrepreneurship educator, that you have few students who would want to actually go ahead to become an entrepreneur, and you have to focus on them. So your focus has to be, what is it that you really want to give to the students and what do you want them to become. And second is that, even if it is a small set of students who want to become entrepreneurs, it's we I need to focus on them. So your goal and objective as an entrepreneurship education is extremely important, and you should not remove your focus, or shake your focus from that goal. The next is that you need to also include a lot of initiatives in whatever you're doing, whether you're teaching in the class or you're doing something outside the class with the students, that you have to develop a growth mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset, right? Uh, just to give an example, I have quite a few of my students who did not go ahead to become entrepreneurs, but today they have gone ahead in organizations and they are winning laurels for themselves. They get a lot of appreciation, they're awarded for the work they're doing. This is because they've developed an entrepreneurial mindset. So your efforts at the college level, at the entrepreneurship education level, will not go waste, because somewhere or the other, that student, if he's not becoming an entrepreneur, he's surely becoming an excellent entrepreneur. And that is what my last few years is. Then whatever initiatives you are taking, within the class, outside the class, as a teacher, right, you have to devise your pedagogy, your activities in such a way that the student learns to think differently. He learns to think out of the box. He learns to think in a lateral way. So it's an effort. Yeah, to be an entrepreneurship educator is an effort. It's a full-time job, like a mother's job. It's a full-time job. You cannot escape, and you cannot say that, okay, आज मेरा college खत्म हो गया 12 बजे, अभी I need to go home. No, there shouldn't be a time limit for how much time you're spending in the college, because it requires you to be there. It's a responsible job as an entrepreneurship educator. Then you can now guide students in making, of course, business plans and covering all aspects of business operations. That can be done within the class. So I'm going to come to the aspects of what you can do within the class, but you can be a mentor to the students, you can be a guide to the students, you can be a handholder to the students. You do not necessarily have to be a teacher, right? You have to be a friend to the student as an entrepreneurship educator, because it is all about encouragement, it's all about inspiration, and it's all about entrepreneurship. And therefore, an entrepreneurship educator needs to be really strong. He really needs to be a visionary. He is very hatke from the normal teachers in the education system, and I think that's a very big achievement for any entrepreneurship educator. Then you also need to do a lot of experiments with the students. As a entrepreneurship educator, I think experiments are the most important aspect, because you're allowing them, you're telling them to work on a trial and basis on various projects and various assignments and various activities. You're giving them challenges, discussing ideas with them, and somewhere or the other, it's shaping him to be an entrepreneur. And that is what, as an entrepreneurship educator, your responsibility should be. So as an entrepreneurship educator, of course, teaching in the class is one aspect. As I've said, that it necessarily does not have to be teaching. So how it is done, I'll also tell you about that. मैं कैसे करती हूँ मेरे classes में. And then out of the class is something which I feel is another important thing which you should remember, because in class, entrepreneurship education is not sufficient. It is not complete. वो sufficient नहीं होता है. You need to add on to something which you're doing outside the class also. And I do a balance of both in my institution. So when I am teaching entrepreneurship, it's very important that we design a curriculum which is very relevant to what students would want to learn in the classrooms as an entrepreneur. So I have a set of mentor panels, experts from the industry, from the startup ecosystem, with who I discuss the curriculum. Me and my team discusses that what is it that can be, maybe theoretically taught to the students in the class, and then accordingly we design a curriculum to teach entrepreneurship. And so our curriculum includes innovation in entrepreneurship. Our curriculum includes marketing in entrepreneurship. Our curriculum includes how to prepare a business model canvas. Our curriculum includes different aspects of right from finance to marketing to operations. Everything is included in the curriculum. We see that he is, the student learns everything related to entrepreneurship in the class, and so curriculum designing becomes extremely important. And I think it's very important to understand that that lays the foundation of some basic knowledge to the students, so that you need to take help of people who are in the startup ecosystem and who have worked on businesses and startups, and make them a part of curriculum development, so that your curriculum becomes enriching. So that curriculum you bring to class, right? Now, is it taught like how you taught any other, how you teach any other subjects? No. This needs to have a very different way of teaching. And that also is a creative process. वो एक creative process है. As a teacher, I think you need to be creative. You need to be innovative, right? You need to think out of the box, and you need to be very encouraging, right? Because अगर आप प्लेसमेंट बोलोगे, आई एम श्योर मेनी ऑफ द टीचर्स हियर वुड अंडरस्टैंड दिस, दैट अगर आप प्लेसमेंट बोलोगे तो दे वुड बी 100 हैंड्स अप, यस मैम हमको जॉब करना है. अगर आप बोलोगे किसको बिजनेस चालू करना है, तो इन योर क्लास मे बी यू विल हैव 2 hands up. And that is what is an apathy of an entrepreneurship educator. So you need to see that those 2 hands are joined by more hands, because you have been teaching in a different way in the class. And that should be your aim when you're teaching entrepreneurship within the class. So what do I do in the class as a teacher who teaches innovation in entrepreneurship, who teaches essentials of entrepreneurship, who teaches finance in entrepreneurship, strategy in entrepreneurship? So I basically make use of a lot of templates. So when you get a curriculum in front of you, you take one every topic, एक topic को आप ले लो in the curriculum. You prepare a template, right? For example, opportunity identification is one very important topic which students would want to know, because most of the students who come in front of you may not have a business idea, and they do not know how to get that business idea. So उनको सिखाना है opportunity हम कैसे identify करें. So उसके लिए we can prepare a template. Okay, instead of teaching them theoretically, why not prepare a template? So I prepare templates for every topic which I'm teaching, and I make them do, I make them work on those templates. So there is a template for opportunity identification. There's a template for how to prepare a business plan. There's a template which is available, and I'm sure all of you know, for business model canvas, which I rampantly use in the class. So we use templates. I have made a template for design thinking. So we can use those templates in the class, give it to the students, and make them work, so they are engaged. So engaging students in a creative way also encourages them to think in a different way, develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Next is that, which I do very often since Shark Tank have started. I show, I'm sure many of you also would be doing this. We show a pitch, and then give them questions to answer on the pitch, right? For example, what are the innovations this entrepreneur has made? Why is this entrepreneur, pitch successful? For what aspect has he got funding? What is the problem that entrepreneur is solving? So you see that video first, you jot down the questions, and then you tell your students that, okay, now after you see the pitch, you need to answer these questions. So students, see the pitch, the Shark Tank pitch very, very interestingly and in a very engaging way, and then they're also interested to answer the questions. So I have done that. And another important thing is that now I'm in Pune. So I have done a research. I've been doing, whenever Shark Tank कोई भी season आता है, तो I find out कि ये पुणे के Shark, who are the pitchers from Pune, which are the entrepreneurs from Pune. Then through LinkedIn, I get in touch with them, and I see that they come to talk to our students. So that is some effort. So as a teacher, entrepreneurship educator, हमको out of हमारे out of box जाके efforts लेना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Then I also, as I said, business model canvas template is which students, I tell them to get the templates, or we share the templates in the class, and then students are working on that. Another thing which I also do is through assignments. So I'm sure all of you who are teaching entrepreneurship would know that assignment is an integral part of assessment. So why not, make that assignment only interesting, because then they will do it. So there's an interesting assignment which I do with students that's called as a shadowing program. Now, what is a shadowing program? That is that the student would work under an entrepreneur. So he has to search for an entrepreneur and he has to work with that entrepreneur for a certain number of hours. So it could be 30 hours, 40 hours, right? So give them that hours and you mark them for that, that this for that particular hours you will be working. So my students have worked with independently with separate entrepreneurs, and they search the entrepreneurs and they work with them, and then they give you a feedback. I tell them to get a signature from the entrepreneur which they are working, a letter of appreciation that this person has done a shadowing program. So our student then learns all dimensions, all aspects of business in that shadowing program. So shadowing program is something which I implement almost every year. I have also implemented shadowing program in a different way, and I would love to talk about this. So what I do is I collaborate with budding startups. So recently I'm doing a shadowing. My students are doing a shadowing program with a startup called as BizBiz. Now, what do they do? So these startup founders have developed a business related startup where any startup can register in the sense, be a part of that and take help of that software, that platform, to run their business, to operate their business. So there are many functions in that which maybe students can work on, so it could be a digital marketing function, it could be a business development function, it could be an operations function, internal management. So I have collaborated with this business, and my around 50 of my students are now doing a shadowing program with them. So those startup founders will give them varied responsibilities, and they will be now working on these various responsibilities for 30 to 40 hours, over the period of maybe 1 month or 2 months. So you can have it, you can tell students to select an entrepreneur and then be a part, then do a shadowing program with them, or you yourself can, identify a startup or a growing business because they need help, right? And our students can help them, and in the bargain they can learn various skills and interact with that entrepreneur. Earlier my students had done a similar kind of um, collaborative program of internship or shadowing program with Des Rangila, again a startup which is into heritage products, right? And it was a very successful experiment which I did with my students, and my students also learned a lot of things, right? Another thing which I do is I give them assignment कि आप कोई भी small business identify करो. Maybe it could be a person who's selling bhel, or it could be a person who's selling coconut, or it could be a person who's selling sandwiches, and make him visible. आप उसको visible बनाओ. I find out that what is it that can make him visible. So put in all your skills and help him to become visible. So then students would prepare reels for him, insta page खोलेंगे, website बनाएंगे, right? They'll make him online visible, right? Then they would also maybe advertise that particular business on the college campus, make brochures, make posters, right? And they help a small business to grow. In this way they know that what is essential for growth of a business. And these experiments of mine have become very successful because students have really learned a lot. Another important thing which I do is I give them an assignment to identify a problem. For example, education sector is a sector which is one of the human development index indicators. So in India, education mein government ka jo investment hai, is very less. So private sectors have to intervene, and they have to take over, and they have to bring about innovations in the education sector. So why not train our students कि आप करो कुछ तो for the education sector. So identify a problem and develop solutions which in the form of prototypes. And you will not believe my students have done wonders. I have some photos I have to show you. They have done wonders, right? They've identified problems, for example, in education that they don't find learning interesting in the class. So our students have designed games, right? For example, number games. They've designed games, number games, and they have gone and tried out in schools. So prototypes have been built. If any youngster is going through a mental health problem, my students have developed solutions for that also. So you actually tell them to develop prototypes, and they do it in a wonderful way. इतने अच्छी तरीके से करते हैं prototypes. The only thing is that they remain prototypes. So but they do it. Getting entrepreneurs in the classroom is which I very actively do. A lot of entrepreneurs, so again, extra effort required as an educator, but you need to do that, because as an entrepreneur also we expect them to take extra efforts. I also give them assignments, which I think many of y'all would be doing, interviewing entrepreneurs. But that doesn't remain only to an interview. I tell them to convert it into a podcast or a video, right? And then we also have made YouTube channels of that. So we make YouTube channels of whatever students have been doing in assignments. And our network with alumni is strong. I have also ensured that our network with alumni remains strong. We've seen that we've connected with alumni, and we've got them on the campus to talk to our students and to mentor our students. And that is also a very successful initiative which we have been doing. We've also been, collaborating with NGOs and creating awareness about sustainability. So students literally work for 30 hours, 40 hours with some NGO on a particular area. For example, an area like e-waste management or an area like plastic waste. And then they would, give suggestions to the NGO कि कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, whatever. They would also work on field. This gives them a different mindset. एक अलग mindset उनका develop होता है. And I've had students talking about this, that what transformation has happened, by doing these kind of field kind of assignments, as a part of their assignments. So this is something which I thought, I should share, which I do in my class, and I think each one of us can do this. Always remember, as an entrepreneurship educator, keep that PPT aside. We don't need to teach them theory. We need to teach them hands-on, right? Give them problems. Let them think about solutions. Give them innovative assignments, exercises, and make them, talk in the class. Make them think in the class, because as entrepreneurs, they need to think in the class. So these are some of the projects which I have been doing. I did in the last few years. One of the projects which we did last year was the millet project. Since last year was the United Nations year of the millet, we told students to do a research on millets. They came up, they didn't know till they did the research, they did not know, the different kinds of millets. Then they got to know the different kinds of millet. Then I told them to decide what is the business they would like to do in converting those raw millets into any kind of food products. So people came out with millet cookies, they came out with millet puffs, they came out with millet biscuits, they came out with very millet laddus. And we sold those products on our college campus, even in exhibitions outside. And they did a wonderful job, So the millet, and then they also had to prepare a business plan related to that. But that was an experience which I think our students learned a lot, and they also understood, that how millets are important for our health. Then another project which I carried out was the artisan project. Now the artisan project is where I told the students, that you need to find out and do a research on the number of artisans in Pune. So when we came to know that there are a big number, we selected a few number of artisans, and each group was then told to interview 10 entrepreneurs or 10 artisans from one particular sector. So if you see here, these are cane, those who make cane baskets. So 10 such artisans were interviewed by one particular group. One group went to interview potters, one group went to interview wood art. So now I have a project report of almost 100 artisans, because 10 groups interviewing 10 artisans. And students also made films on that. So one thing which I make them do is complete assignment, कि आप सिर्फ इंटरव्यू मत करो, आप उसका एक ऑडियो विजुअल रिकॉर्ड बनाओ. So do a video of your assignment, and students do it. And let me tell you, students have come to me and said, ma'am, हमको ये बनाना, पहले we did not know how to create, those technical skills नहीं थे हमारे, but today we are also technically skilled. So yes, one aspect of an entrepreneur you've made strong, he's become skilled in technology also. So that is, so millet project, artisan project is something which our students did successfully, and they really enjoyed. Another project which I made them do was that connect with NGOs. And see, NGOs का सबसे major जो fallback होता है, that is they are not able to sell their products. A lot of NGOs make a lot of products. Okay, जैसे कि कोई deaf dumb, some specially abled people would make bags, or they would make some food products, or they would make some craft products. So I have I had told them that source those products from them and sell them and help them to increase the sale of their products. And our students have done a wonderful job. So if you could see here, our students have participated in an exhibition called as Boho Bazaar, which happens on Deccan. And they were selling products made by Purna Ecovision, and they made a big amount of sale. Then here also you will see that some of the products which the students are holding in their hand are NGO products, and they sold those products. So see, what happens here is that you're also sensitizing the students. So sensitizing students as entrepreneurs is very, very important. When you talk to your students in the class, if they are in the first year, आपको समझ में आएगा that when you ask them a question that tell me problems which you see around you, and you'll be surprised to see students are not able to identify problems. आज के generation को problem नहीं दिख रहा है. That means they are so much in comfort zone that they're not able to identify problems. And therefore, such kind of assignments, exercises will help them to sensitize, look around, see for problems. If they see problems, only will they be able to give solutions and then become maybe an entrepreneur. This is again building a prototype, which I told you earlier, which I called as change makers assignment name, or change makers. Be a change maker. So they, if you can see here, these are all toys which students have made, and they went to schools and they have experimented these. So almost I think schools में गए वो old लोगों के लिए भी so this was done for the old age homes people, where they taught them how to, they devised a tool, made a tool to teach them how to operate a particular app, right? जैसे कि now we are not able to, they are not able to operate Google Pay, ये वो. I think this is some government app which they had told them how to operate, right? Then there are students who made some toys, right? And then they went and gave it, and they do it. Yeah, you just challenge them. You have to challenge them. You cannot underestimate them. I've realized one thing: if you underestimate students, you're not exploiting their potential. आपको उनको बोलना है आप कर सकते हो, और अगर आप उनको बोलो कि आप कर सकते हो तो वो करेंगे, 101% वो करेंगे. They will not let you down, right? So these are the projects which we have done. This is a project which we did under which we have been doing consistently with an NGO called as Purna Vision, where students take up different responsibilities, and here again they are learning, as an entrepreneur, how to think, how to sensitize, how to think out of the box, how to think critically, how to face rejections, right? So this is what they've been doing, how to sell products, and students have really gained confidence, by doing this. These are some of my other sessions with some alumni entrepreneurs within the classroom, so if I have to teach them franchising kya hoti hai, so I'll call an alumni entrepreneur who has taken a franchisee, and then he comes to the class and he talks to them, his experience of franchising. So these are my alumni entrepreneurs who have come to the class. I've also invited, as I said, some Shark Tank founders, to talk to, sorry, some Shark Tank startup founders who participated. And here you can see that we had, founders of Nomad Food Project coming online to talk to our students, and we had Mr. Karan Korke. I'm very happy to share that he's also our alumni, and so he was presenting his business, Healthy Binge. So we called him to talk to students. See, when they come to our campus, I'm sure you all as teachers know that it makes a difference. Students को एक अलग inspiration मिलता है. We have to also give them an inspiration, right? हमको उनका अगर entrepreneur mindset तैयार करना है तो inspiration देना उनको बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. So this, what I spoke till now was what we've been doing within the class. Okay, these are highlights, students. Audience, this is the highlight. We have been doing much more than this, but due to shortage of time, I have just put some highlighted things which we do in the class. Then I realized that just within classroom initiatives are not enough. You need to also go beyond classroom, right? So beyond classroom के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? So we decided to set up a center called a Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and this was set up in my college in 2013 because just classroom activities are not enough. You need to add on, for see that entrepreneurial mindset is developed. He goes ahead to develop courage to start his business. And today I head the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So how does the Entrepreneurship Center operate in our college? So we have some initiatives which are only for creating awareness, right? So we start by awareness creating sessions. Then we focus on entrepreneurial skill building. हम entrepreneurial skill building पे focus करते हैं, for which we have certain set of activities. Then we also have, then we go ahead to help them to start their business. तुम अभी कुछ business पे काम करो, तुम कोई idea पे काम करो. So we focus on creating business, for which we have developed a program called as the Project Campus Entrepreneur Program. So coming back to what we do in awareness sessions, and of course doing all of this requires a lot of effort. A lot of times many of my activities are also self funded, because मैं बच्चों को बोलती हूँ तुम sponsorship लेके आओ, right? And then that is also an exercise. They go and pitch that event, and it becomes a very exciting and also a challenging exercise for them. So here in awareness session, of course, we have active sessions with entrepreneurs and industry experts. And I remember earlier I used to be calling an entrepreneur almost every week to talk to the students, interact with them. Why this consistency? The reason being because it's you have to hammer. Entrepreneurship also needs to be very consistent, right? You cannot do an activity once in 6 months and expect your students to then become entrepreneurs, right? You need to be very consistent, and that's why. And becoming an entrepreneurship educator requires, again, as I said, a lot of effort. Then we also have talk shows with alumni entrepreneurs. We every year organize a global entrepreneurship summit called as Symbis. We also every year organize a national conclave on funding and financing startups. We also organize something called as a change makers conclave. को कोई entrepreneur कुछ impact कर रहा है in any of the sectors. It could be in the field of environment, in the field of in the field of maybe automobiles, कोई भी field में, water में, education में अगर वो कर रहा है कुछ impact, so we call them for this conclave. So we give them different students को एक अलग insight मिल जाती है from the change makers conclave. And then just to add on the element of fun for our students and to be a little more lively, every semester there is a quiz, which is a startup quiz and an entrepreneurship quiz. Then we also do engage students in a lot of entrepreneurial skill building activities. So for that we have launched then again a young pioneer, which is again a commercial business plan competition. And then we have Manthan, which is a social business plan competition. Along with that, we also have been organizing Startup Fest. That means inviting startups from outside, and then students get to interact with those startups. They also see what are the innovations these startups are doing. Now, very interesting thing here, that when we organize Startup Fest here, we collaborate with incubation centers in Pune city. So there is a very famous incubation center, well known, called as the Bhau Institute. So we collaborated with this last year for the Startup Fest. Then you all must be aware about another entrepreneurship platform called as the Indus Entrepreneur, that is called as TIE. So we collaborated with TIE for this. Then we ourselves, under the Symbiosis International University, have an incubation center where a lot of startups are incubated. So we also collaborated with that. And so because of all these collaborations, we got a very good response for our Startup Fest. So I think as an entrepreneurship educator, you also need to understand that collaboration is important. Independently, you cannot work. You need to have collaborations with different people in the startup ecosystem, whether they are startup founders, whether they are incubation centers, whether they are alumni, or whether they are business organizations. हमको collaborations करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, because it makes our work much more easier. Then, of course, workshops on design thinking, creativity, all these workshops, we undertake so that students are able to understand the different aspects of entrepreneurship and learn to think differently. Then, of course, as I said, shadowing program is a classroom program, and internships with startups. So you'll be surprised to know that even though we are a center for innovation and entrepreneurship, I believe that students also should be encouraged to do internship with startups. So that is an extra wing which I also, undertake in the college. So everything which is done under the center is done by the students. I guide them, and there is a big organizing team of students, student volunteers who are working on this. So they're also learning entrepreneurship, right? They're also learning entrepreneurship because they're doing 100 things, 100 events are happening, 100 programs are taking place. So वो भी team बहुत strong हो जाती है in terms of entrepreneur skill building, right? So internship with startups is also one of our focus areas. So we talk to alumni entrepreneurs, उनके businesses है, or we talk to startups in the ecosystem or incubated startups. Say, if they need interns, then we provide our students, we connect our students with them, and I feel that that's a very big, very big way of a very great way of encouraging students to learn differently. Hmm? uh, Once we do awareness and skill building, it's important that that student also works on a business idea. It's just not, see, ours is an undergraduate college, so not necessarily that a student would want to do business immediately. But what I believe is that we should encourage them to experiment being an entrepreneur on the campus. Why don't you experience? आप एक साल entrepreneur के जैसा रहो ना, बनो, work on a business idea, and convert your business idea into a startup. And I'm very sure that so by experience says that students have done it wonderfully. So we developed a program, so after I discussed this with my principal, we developed a program called as a Project Campus Entrepreneur, and we gave credits to those programs. Now that program is a complete I call it a pre-incubation program, because here students are taught to ideate, to develop a product, to develop a prototype, then to develop a final product, packaging. So a startup mentor comes, we invite a startup mentor, an expert from outside, and he and she guides the students to do business on the campus for a year, or for that whatever duration of that program is. And students have, then they get opportunities to participate in flea markets in the college, outside the college, they sell the products. They, so there's a different kind of a change which takes place in them. So this Project Campus Entrepreneur is a semi-formal, I could say, program, which is a workshop-based program, which is dedicated only to students who want to convert their idea into a feasible startup on the campus. We also realize that it's important to develop a research mindset. So, as an entrepreneur, see, most of the startups fail because they failed in doing research for their startups. उनका अगर research solid नहीं है, तो they will not be able to foresee what is good for their startup. So it's important to have a research bend or research mindset. So we've come up with two publications. One is a student research journal, which is called as Emerge, and it is specifically to guide students to write research papers in an ISBN journal. So Emerge. The second is Symbipreneurs book. So here we are printing, publishing stories of our alumni entrepreneurs, right? So we've identified alumni entrepreneurs, and till now we've published almost 6 books of our Symbipreneurs. Every book would carry 20 stories of our alumni entrepreneurs. And Emerge, now we are working on the third edition, or a third volume of our Emerge Student Research Journal. No, fourth volume, sorry, we are working on the fourth volume of the Student Research Journal. So again, something to imbibe a research culture, a research mindset in the students. And as I have been mentioning, that we've developed a very strong connect with our alumni. That has also taken a lot of efforts. We have literally called up students, who are entrepreneurs, and invited them that you should come and talk to our students. We published their stories in our books, right? And we've also been holding alumni entrepreneurs meet. So alumni entrepreneurs meet is one of the highlights of what we do every year. So last year we crossed almost 100 alumni and entrepreneurs in different fields came on the campus, and it was a very special moment for our college. So as I said again, all of this requires you as an entrepreneurship educator to be very um, hardworking. I must say, first is hardworking. You need to be really very hardworking. You need to be also you need to develop a very strong network in the startup ecosystem. You also need to not have limits of how much time you're going to work on the campus, right? You need to give yourself that time, because it really requires you to be giving time in taking all these efforts. You also need to understand that you are much different than a normal teacher, who teach a subject like accounts or a subject like finance, right? Because your role is very, very different. You are going against the wind, right? When everybody is talking about jobs, you are telling the student, नहीं नहीं आपको जॉब नहीं करना है, you have to be a job creator. और बच्चा बोल रहा है कि नहीं, मेरे पेरेंट्स को तो चाहिए मैं जॉब करूं, right? And I also want easy money. But you need to say that no, you need to be a job creator. So ये कभी तो उसके दिमाग में कभी तो वो seep in होगा, if not today, maybe 2 years down the line. Where I'm sitting in front of me is a wall of all my students who become entrepreneurs. And I'm so proud to say that, after 2 years of college, they come back to me and they say, ma'am, I know I've started my own business. After 3 years, they'll come back and say, ma'am, I've started my own business. And that's such a big reward for you as a teacher, that, okay, whatever efforts you've taken, he's made his, he's decided to start his business. So, he's made you proud. He or she has made you proud. So that is so you, as I said, as an entrepreneurship educator, you also need to be patient. आप immediate results नहीं देख सकते उसमें, आपको पेशेंट ही रहना पड़ेगा. ये परकोलेशन होता है, वट एवर एफर्ट्स वी टेक ऑन द कैंपस विद द स्टूडेंट्स, ओके, इसका परकोलेशन होके it shows after 3 years, 4 years, it goes down, it seeps in, and then after 4 years, 3 years, you will see the students have come back and they've said that, ma'am, we are starting business. ऐसे करके मेरी ये वॉल अभी भरी है, दैट स्टूडेंट्स हैव कम बैक एंड सेड, एंड नाउ आई कैन सी दैट दिस वॉल इज ऑलमोस्ट फुल, where my alumni, where my students have gone ahead to become entrepreneurs. One entrepreneur, can be such a big value to the economy, to our economy, specifically because, specifically in India, where we are still on that developing stage. So this is the Project Campus Entrepreneur Program, which I told you earlier about. I call it a pre-incubation program, and every time we take a batch of 40 to 50 students only. This is besides in entrepreneurship teaching, which happened. This is a separate program wherein students from other faculty also enroll. For example, student who's studying psychology can also enroll here. Student who's studying English can also enroll here. So this is for the entire college, right? And therefore, you can see various students coming up with different kinds of products. Maybe somebody would want to sell t-shirts with some print on it, so he would have some vision for his business कि मुझे इस print के t-shirts मुझे sell करना है, and they do it well. Some may want to make some organic skincare, some may want to make some face masks and sell, and students are doing, some may want to sell some bakery products. And अच्छा करते हैं बच्चे, you have to believe. My students are 18, 19, 20, 21 year old students, and I feel that जब इस उम्र में बच्चे करते हैं तो you're on the right track, because you know what kind of a distracted lot the today's youth is, specifically because of the social media. But अगर वो तुम्हारे efforts को respond कर रहे हैं, that means you're on the right track, and that is what we require as an entrepreneurship educators. So I have also been dedicating one semester to promoting social entrepreneurship. Why social entrepreneurship? As I told you, we are living in India, which is a developing country, and जहाँ पे इतने सारे problems है, our human development index is so damn low. I mean, we are almost 130 out of 200 countries. So shouldn't our students also go ahead to maybe solve some problems and create an impact? So with this vision in mind, we started the social entrepreneurship fest. So in a one semester, students are told to organize all events or programs or sessions related to social entrepreneurship. So it could be selling, maybe having a flea market where they're only selling NGO products. So we call it as a Spandan Bazaar. Or as I said, having a conclave called as a national change makers conclave, or a social business plan competition. So all these initiatives somewhere sensitize the students, and students are able to go ahead to think at least about becoming a social entrepreneur. Another very interesting initiative which we do is promoting art entrepreneurship. So I realized that in our college there are students who are excellent artists, fine artists, So can they convert their art into business? Yes, why not? So let's give it a try. And then we started organizing this exhibition called as Indradhanu. Indradhanu focuses on getting student artists together and helping them to convert their art into business. So that is something which we have been doing, and a very successful event which happens. If any one of you are in Pune, I would surely invite you to Indradhanu. So then participation in flea markets is something which we encourage students. Publication is something which students have been doing. Which we have been doing at the center, and which is again students look into it. You'll be very surprised that my editors for Sindipreneurs are students. My reviewers, my review committee in Emerge, even if it is student research journal, are students. My coordinators are students. So they're learning, and plus they're writing. So they're interacting with entrepreneurs. So I think this is one way in which you can engage students. And the last slide, which focuses on visits, so I believe in giving a lot of exposure to the students, because he has to go ahead to become an entrepreneur. अगर उसका exposure कम है तो वो courage ही नहीं develop करेगा. He will not develop courage. So we take students to visits to different places wherever and however possible. We have taken students to visit to one of an incubation center under Symbiosis International University in Lovely campus. It's closer to Pune, where students get to know how an incubation center works, which are the startups which are incubated there. They interact with the startup and all of that. So that is a visit which we annually organize every year. Then we every year go to Suhana Masala. Thanks to Anand Chodia sir, who is very happy to have us and show students around on the Suhana. So they have, it's not only a masala factory, but it's also ideal example in how sustainability management can be done. And then Chitale Bandhu, and there are many more industries where students, are taken for visits. Again, an eye opener for our students, because this gives them an exposure. So all these efforts, as I said, have accumulated into students going ahead to become entrepreneurs, and I feel really, really happy. If they have not become entrepreneurs, they have surely become excellent entrepreneurs, right? They come back and they send messages and say, "Man, today I've got an award for my being the best performer in the organization," and I think that is wonderful. As a teacher, what else would you want? So yes, so in short, this is what this is how an entrepreneurship educator needs to be. As I said, very consistent, persistent, never give up attitude, right? Ready to take up risks. Your networking has to be very strong. You have to have a very strong stakeholder connect. You need to have a very strong alumni connect. You need to also have a very good relationship with your students. That's also important, because they have to respond to your efforts. So be a person who encourages them, be a person who makes them think, be a person who makes them create, be a person who helps them to think out of the box. And if you do that, I'm very, very sure someday your efforts will percolate. So this is what I wanted to share as an entrepreneurship educator. How is it that you can be innovative? So thank you so much once again. If anybody has anything to ask me, the floor is open.
You are on mute.
Okay, if anybody has anything to ask, I'm open. Yeah, I'm open to the
We
question.
have questions in the poll box. You may start answering those questions. We have two questions on the poll.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can entrepreneur experiential learning and real world simulations be effectively integrated into entrepreneurship education to engage students and enhance their practical so this is what I told you all about the projects which I have been doing in the class. For example, one of the projects which I do is building prototypes. So students, are told to identify problems right from the process of them identifying a problem. Maybe they've identified a problem in the education sector. As I said, that students do not understand mathematics very easily. So I told the students, can there be something which can be done so that school children are able to understand mathematics? कोई toy now are these the ones which can be commercialized? So if if maybe he becomes that develop it into a commercial business, then so yes, I think that this is a very good way of giving them experiential learning as well as you're giving them real world simulations, right? ये दोनों आप combine कर रहे हो. You make them go and experiment that tool in the school or wherever for whichever target audience they've made. As students have gone and done that, they've experimented and they've given us the feedback. Yes, ma'am, students enjoyed, and even teachers इस school में उन्होंने वो try किया, वो teachers ने भी enjoy किया. So there is a very interesting, as hackathon which is launched by Institution Innovation Council. I mean the Education Ministry, called as Toycathon. So y'all can maybe encourage students to take part in Toycathon. What is, because we're talking about today different kind of toys. So can our students develop that? Of course you can. So I think I have seen that if you guide them well and encourage them, आप कर सकते हो. आप हमारे बच्चे ये सब कर सकते हैं. In what way can technology and collaborative learning be utilized to improve effectiveness of entrepreneurial education, and what specific tools or methods have shown the promise? Okay, so what I believe is, see, I feel that students understand technology more than us. A lot of tools they are better at using than we are using. Maybe I am using. So in my when I'm giving them some projects, I tell them to use all aspects of technology, right? जैसे कि आप podcast बनाओ, right? Then they are there. फिर उसको तुम क्या करो पता है? You give them a voice over. You don't just take an interview. आप क्या करो, उसको फिल्म बनाओ, तो उसको एक वॉइस ओवर दे दो आप. सो दे आर लर्निंग द टेक्निक ऑफ वॉइस ओवर. दे आर ऑल्सो लर्निंग how to edit, how to do how to edit the film. They also know how to put all the clips together. They also know what questions to be taken. So I feel that it's important that you make them use the tools, right? So there is no specific tool which I am using online, okay, as such, but I feel that give them to explore tools. Another important thing, today I was talking to my students that आप आपका WhatsApp open करो, and I told them that there is a feature of AI which has been now recently introduced in WhatsApp. So अभी वो अगर AI का feature में, I told them you type this, you type podcast, Indian business podcast, ऐसे आप वहाँ पे टाइप करो. So all the students typed that Indian business podcast, and they got a list of Indian business podcasts on their WhatsApp AI, a new tool introduced which is in their hand. Why not? I make them use phone a lot of times in the class. Aap research karo, you can use that. So today they were so happy that they could get to know that WhatsApp पे भी उनको अभी फटाफट सर्च कर सकते हैं वो. They get that exact data. They're very happy, right? And then now today they'll go home and they'll do a research and they'll listen to those podcasts. So that is also something which you can think about. And I think AI is a smart tool to use. We can use AI to get maybe get some activities, innovative activities. What can be done with the students in the class? It's perfectly fine to use AI, I think. Not for students, but for us. It's perfectly fine.
Exactly, Bharaji. Thank you for a wonderful speech. I would like to invite other attendees to put forth the questions, if any. Any questions, you may simply raise your hands.
So I have told my students also to make podcast. When I was telling them that identify problems and give solutions. So one of the group identified a problem that ma'am, financial literacy का एक बहुत बड़ा problem, illiteracy का बहुत बड़ा problem है. What is the solution you can do? So they said, ma'am, हमको podcast बनाना है, right? So financial investment awareness पे. And they did a podcast and it was wonderful. So it's not easy to do a podcast, right? You all know that, right? So Spotify पे जो podcast होते हैं, there's a lot of effort. So उन्होंने वो बनाया when they were in the second year. Can you believe it? So they did research, they took out the content. And one of my student group has done a has created a website to sell art. So I said, हमारा एक group है in college called as Indradhanu, group of artists. Now, we have a problem कि how to sell their art, or we want to create a platform to showcase their art online. So that group created an online website, a website for selling art. स्टूडेंट्स आपको बताएंगे क्या करना है, बिकॉज दे आर, तो वो मुझे बोलते हैं मैम इस पे वेबसाइट करो, आप ये टूल यूज करो. आई थिंक वी हैव अ लॉट टू लर्न फ्रॉम देम आल्सो.
That's really great, Dr. Bakare. Okay, so if nobody has any queries, I believe we can proceed. Thank you. I would like to request Dr. Bakare to please share your email ID in the chat box so that if anyone has any queries or seeks further info, they can straight away reach out.
I will do that. Yes.
Thanks,
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Our next speaker for today is Mr. Anil Jyoti Basu, who is a trainer, teacher, and researcher in entrepreneurship and an international level speaker in the domain. He's also an expert into startups and innovation. Dr. Basu is the former Innovation Ambassador of Institute Innovation Council, Ministry of Education, Innovation Cell, AICTE, New Delhi. Previously, he has completed his doctoral program from Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, EDII, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, India. Let's welcome Mr. Basu, and I request you to commence your speech and share your insights with our audience.
Well, am I audible to all of you? Okay, thank you. Well, it will be a both-way session, and somebody is still sharing their screen. If it could be made blank,
Yeah.
so I can share my one. And
Sure. Dr. Bakare, if you could just, sure, done.
Okay. Well, now you can see my slides. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, we can see your slides, Dr. Basu.
Okay. Well, as already said by Shravan sir, I am well associated with SK Associate, and also I remember in 2013 I gave a speech here. 2023 February I gave a speech, and it was also well appreciated. Well, as it is given, presently I am the associate professor of Brainware University, that is in West Bengal, and I am the fellow of Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, and also still I am the innovation ambassador of Institute Innovation Council. And also I am very much thankful to SK Enterprises to give me this platform and also giving me this challenging topic that really matters. Let me see how much I can wrap it up. I got the interest in this topic. So today I have made this content, actually the topic that is given, that integrating entrepreneurship into the existing curriculum. And in that, I have kept my content in this way: the introductory words, our workload responsibilities, entrepreneurship item in teaching responsibilities, entrepreneurship items for brainstorming, ISE and opportunities for faculties, ISE and opportunities for students, and some end words. Well, it's good. It's a big one. So without wasting much time, let's start. Hope everybody, the teacher, the faculty members, those who are present here, they will realize that these are the overall responsibilities, the bunch of responsibilities that you are getting in your HEIs, Higher Education Institute, isn't it? That is classroom teaching, research, some administrative documentation in terms of NAC mainly, right? At this point of time. Then student development programs, it is mainly for the visibility of your institute. You have to go outside and do some student development programs. It also helps your marketing team. Apart from that, workshop arrangement, and after that, seminar, conferences, internship guide, finally the PhD guide. These are the buckets, right? I think to great extent you will go with me that these are the things. Well, if something are missing, that for that also I am having some. Now, when we are taking this topic that integrating entrepreneurship into existing curriculum, so we have to think in this way that how in these responsibilities, how we can edge the word of entrepreneurship, how we can get the maximum of entrepreneurial tasks from all these responsibilities that we are having, because we cannot because our time is in somewhere it is 8 hours, some in some university it is 9 hours, and we are totally glued in this type of responsibilities. So we have to find out ourselves within these responsibilities only, that if we are to do any entrepreneurial task, entrepreneurship responsibilities, we have to attach those entrepreneurial tasks or responsibilities with the existing responsibilities that we have. And based on this concept only, today I am coming with different type of ideas that we can take up in the coming days. Right? So the first one first, responsibility of teaching and how we can inculcate entrepreneurship into it. See, you will be having many subjects. So all these things I have implemented actually, because I also have to give the IIC report. As you saw that I am the innovation ambassador. So I have to give this IIC report, and based on the points are coming based on that. So I used to inculcate all those things. First one, the periodical calendar. That is, say you are having a subject, say entrepreneurship development and CSR. This type of thing you are having. And periodical calendar is nothing but you have to make a group of 5 students, 5 or 10 students, based on the total number of students that you are having in your classes. After that, what they have to do, they have to go through the journals, they have to go through the newspaper and find out some news that belongs to entrepreneurship, and through the group they have to assess those news and make a calendar, means a bunch of news collection, a bunch of news collection that they have to give, right? So I gave the name as periodical calendar, that I used to take it in each and every 15 days from each and every groups. So if say 50 students are in my class, so it is 5 in a group. In this way, entrepreneurship news, whatever it may be, you inculcate, and after that, based on that, you give your reviews on it. It may not be directly entrepreneurship news. Like yesterday, Nirmala Sitharaman gave the budget, and you have to see the income tax level has gone up. The tax level has gone up. So there is a cushion of 15 to 20,000 for the middle classes in the salary, so, for the salaried classes in the ITs. So by this 15 to 20,000, when we are talking about the entrepreneurs per year, when they are having this cushion, what type of entrepreneurial implication it could be? Probably they can give 15,000 or 20,000 extra for their business. This is the implication. The news is Nirmala Sitharaman is giving that, and the implication is this. Well, next, module attachment with entrepreneurship. What is that? In each and every subject, you are having 4 to 5 modules, right? And after the module, can you place just one submodule into it, that implication of entrepreneurship with respect to that definite module. As an example, say the theory in organizational behavior, we have topics like theories. We have gone through Maslow's theories. After that, we have gone through ERG theories. After then, different type of theories are there. This is in a module. Now, what it could be done through these modules at the end of this module, if we can attach, if we can attach a certain part in that module, that how they are linked with entrepreneurship, right? I will also come in the administrative part also how we can do it this thing. Next, entrepreneurship analysis for entrepreneurship information. I am showing you how it could be done. Uh, I have gone through today's newspaper, that is Times of India, and say, just check this news. Is it visible to all of you? Yes. Am I audible to all of you? Am I
Yeah,
my
you are
screen is visible?
audible and the screen is visible to Dr. Basu.
Okay, thank you. Fertilizer subsidy is squaring the pitch for agriculture sector's growth. This is today's news, right? In Times of India, e-news, this news is coming up. Now, how we can, in the beginning, each and every day, if we can show this type of news in time, I generally follow Times of India, and in Times of India also in the business part, I used to do it. I used to check it, and here the business news is only coming like this. So, can we say to our student with respect to this news that the entrepreneurship regarding the agriculture sector could be focused well after showing this news? Small analysis is also there in this news, and based on this, the news is that the finance minister has announced an allocation of rupees 1.52 crore for agriculture and allied sector in financial year 25. Right? So it is a boost for the financial sector, for the agricultural sector. So people can go for the agricultural agriprenneurship, right? Good news for the agripreneurs. In this way, we can teach our students also that with newspaper analysis and how it could be related to entrepreneurship. Next, this is the last concept, and I got a very good result from my students. That is student notebook concept. Student notebook concept. Don't say that what is the business idea that is coming in your mind. Rather say you note down all the problems from morning to evening that you are seeing around you. That may be your personal problem. That may be the problem of the society. Whatever it may be, note it down. After that, when it is becoming a bunch of these problems, after that you give them the task that out of this problem, if any business idea could be generated, because come to know, because I think you know that somebody while somebody was traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad, and he didn't get the bus, or he didn't get a transport at night. That definite the concept hit in his mind, and today we are getting red bus. Somebody was traveling, but he didn't say that he didn't say the taxi wala that how much kilometers I am going to travel. Right? He was dropped at the middle of the road. This was a problem. This problem hit in his mind, and the solution today we are getting Ola, Uber. So I'm saying in this way, just ask them. You will see when there is a problem, there is a business, right? So that is our teaching responsibility and entrepreneurship. Now let's come to the next one. PhD guidance. We are also having PhD guidance. as an associate professor, we are dealing with six PhD scholars, and when it is assistant professor, and now I think the norm is two or three, whatever it may be. Now, how can we inculcate? How can we garner a good response for the entrepreneurship development in our institute through this PhD guidance? First of all, topic selection on future direct or indirect entrepreneurship. Say you give a topic, probably your student, those the PhD scholar, those who are coming to you, they may be from the tech background, fine. They may be from mathematics background, but how you will help them out? How you will help them out, right? In that case, we can go through to help them through that you will do your PhD in such a subject that is having some entrepreneurship connect, or indirectly that will help in entrepreneurship. Now, how we can help us out in that case? That is, we can have good cross-functional paper. That person is from mathematics background, that person is from the tech background, and we are from the entrepreneurship background. So obviously, the concept match between him and us, or her or us, will give us good papers, good research, that is cross-functional research. Fine. Another thing, good that is a tip for you also. That is second point. That is full or good intersection of both words. That is, say whatever topic we are having, try to give our student some type of thing that is very much linked with our topic. Like while my topic was tribal entrepreneurship, and I have done it from Entrepreneurship Development Institute of in India. That I, in the introduction part, I have already said it. Now, I emphasize that my PhD scholars will go to, probably they will say, no, tribal entrepreneurship, I will not go for, I'm coming to you as an entrepreneurship expert. But I emphasize that if they can take on the projects that is on the social entrepreneurship, or that is giving some social goals, right? That is good for the social goals, right? That like the pad that is invented or innovated by some Andhra man, and how it is impacting the people apart from Andhra. Very less study has been done. Fine. In a very less cost, it is being done. It is a social project. Fine. Otherwise, you can see that some social entrepreneurs, what they are doing, they are first equipping the person from the unprivileged section. After that, they are engaging them in their organization. Fine. After engaging them in the organization, they are garnering the profit, and the profit is being distributed. Now, what type of thing? Say it is a mushroom planting and the benefit of the unprivileged section. When I work for the tribal entrepreneur, that is also the unprivileged section, and this is also the unprivileged section. So, if I am taking up some papers with them, that unprivileged section entrepreneurship, that is covering my part also, that will do good for me also, that will also do good for my student also. Constant food for thought. See, whatever topic, as you are going through throughout the day, you have to go through different journals to be attached with the research. You are going through different write-ups. You are going through different newspapers. Wherever you see that any food for thought that is helpful for you, just pass it to your research scholars. Probably that will be helpful for you. But keep a mechanism like this, that you also say to your research scholar that if this food for thought is helpful for you, then definitely you knock me back. Then we can have some joint research endeavors. Right. This is on or whatever I am saying. This is on entrepreneurship research, because when we are going for the PhD guidance, obviously apart from this on this research part, we cannot spread our domain, because they will not go for probably some business. Yes, they can also go for this business. That is like a quite different thing. Next, dispersion of scholars' topic in small subtopic. uh, say tourism, say a topic is like this, your scholar is having this type of topic. Actually, I have done in this way. Tourism entrepreneurship in the tribal area with reference to Maharashtra. Right now, it is a big topic. Now, how you can break it, because you can break it within your bachelor student, within your master student. You will see many bachelors or master students will be there who will be interested to do some good research work. Now, you or they are having the internship, right? So you break this topic that I have said just now into small one and give them for the inputs from them. How I can break up? First, tribal entrepreneurship in Maharashtra, tourism in entrepreneurship, tourism entrepreneurship in Maharashtra. After that, tourism and Maharashtra. Fine. In this small way, I can break up this topic and distribute to my masters or those who are in the last year of bachelors. And after that, they will also go for some inputs. By these inputs, you can help your research scholar, as well as you can garner go for a good paper with the help of your research scholar, and also this masters and bachelors guy. This is another way. Another way, PhD guidance and entrepreneurship, it is not always after doing the PhD. The research scholars will always be in the field of teaching. I got at least 2 or 3 students, those who said, sir, probably I will be in the research, in the teaching field for 2 to 3 years, and I will try my luck in business. I was also already, or you will say, see some of them, that those who are already coming from the business background, they are having master's degree, went for the business, and after doing the business, they are coming, they are saying that I should complete my PhD and again go back. This type of students are also there. Fine. For them, ask them so that whatever topic the research they are doing, they should have a part that is on entrepreneurship. That means, say, from the concept that they have developed, probably a research scale. Like in my case, I developed a research scale on the tribal entrepreneurial intensity of the tribal entrepreneurs. Now, entrepreneurial intensity of the tribal entrepreneurs, in this entrepreneurial intensity scale was developed in this way. In the same ways, entrepreneurial orientation scale could be developed, entrepreneurial interest scale could be developed. Through this, in the coming time, after using this scale, some do good business, they can chalk out with some research institutes by helping some research institutes. So in this way, the PhD guidance also can be used for developing an entrepreneurial ecosystem in your organization. Next, your personal research. Yes, if now even organization, as you know, just 1 minute. In the organizations also, you know that they are giving you a target that in a year you have to go give 2 Scopus papers and 2 UGC cares. For the associate professors, it may be 4, in this way. So You will write research paper, or you will go for entrepreneurship development, ecosystem development. Again, in that case, it is not that entrepreneurship is just working. Entrepreneurship, teaching, training, research, and consultancy. These all parts are there. When teaching, training, research, and consultancy is there, fine. Other what we are seeing entrepreneurship, that is mainly doing business and consultancy. Where is teaching, training, research? If we are doing teaching, training, research, that also in that way also we are helping out the society in developing a very good entrepreneurial ecosystem. Because when the businessmen are doing the business, at that point of time, they are just thinking of money. They are not thinking of the background, that which sector is growing, why they are growing, when they will be falling. They are not doing any regression analysis. They are not going for any correlation analysis. Those things are in research. When we are doing the research, we are giving them the input that go for this. Got it? So we are also helping the total ecosystem by our research, the entrepreneurial ecosystem by our research. So we are thinking in the research way. Now, in research, I am saying these 3 points. First one is cross-functional collaboration. Cross-functional means, say, somebody from engineering background, somebody from tech background, somebody from mathematics, physics, chemistry background. Just check whatever they are researching it out. Fine. If we can, because see, the general trend is like this, that they have a very good acumen of the technology. They have very good acumen of science. But probably they have the less acumen that how to sell those products or how to sell their research in the market. That is, costing part is there, that the profit part is there. Probably you can help it out. You just know what is the product, what is the things they are going up the research for, what they are doing the research for, and based on that, you can take up the project in this way. That, sir, you are taking the technology part. Say synthetic rubber. Somebody is working on the synthetic rubber. Synthetic rubber, they know the total chemistry of it, how to make it, the technology of it, how it will run in the road. All these things are known to him. But the costing part, the profit part, how it will do business, fine. Any type of expansion of the business can be done with any other industries. It could be added. Obviously, the vehicle industries we can add, but how? Right? In this way, we can do the research with them. Next, same departmental field collaboration. That is, say somebody is in the HR, somebody is in the marketing, somebody is in the finance, and I am in the entrepreneurship. Right? Why? I will not take up some projects that is financial entrepreneurship. Why? I will not take up the topic that is on marketing entrepreneurship, marketing in a entrepreneurial firm or the startup firm. Right? My topic, and I have written a paper on that also, tribal entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial intensity of the tribal entrepreneurship. But I have taken in this way that the marketing pros and cons, marketing difficulties in the tribal entrepreneur run farm. I have taken like this. So obviously, when it is a finance personnel, they can give all the inputs, the financial, the entrepreneurial firms, costing, and all those things. They can easily give to me. I am less knowledgeable. I admit it. I am less knowledgeable on that part, right? And they have given me the inputs. Based on that, we wrote the paper. Good paper. Different institutional collaboration. Like say when we were in I was in Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. We often collaborated with somebody from NID, IIFT, right? So this is design, this is fashion. So the design and fashion part, if they, or you can say IIT mechanical, in this way we can collaborate. Mechanical engineering, they are running the total vehicle industry. So if we can take some inputs from them and collaborate with them in the business part, writing the business part for them, we can if IIFT, Indian Institute of Fashion Technology, they are making a different type of fashion goods throughout the year, and how it can be patented. After that, after patent, what could be the costing, what are the business gaps in the fashion technology, and after that what type of goods should be produced by shunning the old goods of fashion. This type of research can be done. And what type of goods, new goods, that comes under the innovation part of entrepreneurship. In this way we can think for. Now come for the next responsibility, that is admin work, documentation. But how can we attach this thing with entrepreneurship? And generally I didn't wrote it, but see, when it comes in terms of admin works, generally all the higher education or institutes, they are working for NAC, good ranking. Obviously, obviously it is a joint with marketing. Good ranking, people will come to to your organization. They will look at it, look at you. Many grants will be coming, flowing in, and for that everybody is going on a good network. Now, how we have done in our previous institutes or the present institutes about the documentation and admin works, right? That is departmental work scale, that is fitting entrepreneurship. What is that? I think you are making your course files, right? In the course file, you will be getting the CEO, PO, and also you have to show that your course, to what extent employability part is there, what extent entrepreneurship part is there, what extent skill development part is also there. You have to write.
यही काम हमारे
Catalog.
क्लास में करी थी, तब मेरा हेल्थ इशू था। इंफॉर्मेशन कोई नहीं है, ये सब झूठा बोलता है। तो
Excuse me, madam, do you want to say anything?
I think the participant had muted themselves. Dr. Bas, you may continue.
Okay. Yeah. So, can we have the course catalog. In the course catalog also, we have this type of elements: entrepreneurship, skill development, how much this course is giving you skill development, how much this course is giving you employability, in entrepreneurship. Now, instead of writing that these are the element in the this is the course catalog, and this are the part is giving in you entrepreneurship, why can't we form a scale, right? I have done it, rather. That is a 10-point scale, and in the 10-point scale for say I am teaching HR discussion. This type of topic is there, and if how much this course is giving you the knowledge of employability, how much this course is giving you the skills knowledge, how much this course is giving you the knowledge of entrepreneurship. In this way I am fixing it, say 5 in terms of employability, 15%. I am in terms of skill development, I am saying 20%. In terms of entrepreneurship, I am saying 30%, right? After that, at the end, I am also fixing that what percent do you feel that with respect to this HR course, the students will learn the entrepreneurship skills. This course is giving you 30%, but at the same time, how much do you feel the students will learn? In this 30%, say they will be learning 70 to 80%, you have fixed it. That means through your that course, 3 into 7, 21% of entrepreneurship skill or entrepreneurship knowledge, entrepreneurship acumen will be gettable by the students. You are saying. Now, end exams are there, right? You are also in the question paper. You are also showing that from which CEO, which CEO you are giving the question. In that CEO, which were the topics that were coming from in the support of entrepreneurship, that also you know. By this, when students are scoring, then obviously by that scoring, today I have less time, but I can show that scoring or that scale by which you can make it out. You have fixed a standard of 21%, but actually by their scoring at the end, it is not only the written exam, by their different activity and the mapping of that activity with your CEO, how much percent is how much percent they have achieved actually. Generally, if you are for me, it was 70 to 80% it came. That means 80% of that 20 or 21%. That means I was finally able to give them the acumen of entrepreneurship that by that subject that was not having that much entrepreneurship connect up till 16 to 17%. In that way, I also calculated for the skill development, for the employability. All those things were calculated. This is one. And finally, you are getting this result that 16% could be achieved in some year, or the other teachers are giving that 15%. Probably if it is a big class, then you are having 50 students in each classes, so 3 to 4 sections. I am saying that hr employability subject, and in my class I said by my calculation it came 16%. Say other classes it is coming 15%, other classes it is coming 20%. So by this, we can give a report to our higher authority in the coming days that you can fix up a target of 15 to 20% in terms of entrepreneurship for this different subject, entrepreneurship learning for this subject. Next, come to our next responsibility, that is student development program. Student development program, I think you will realize that often you are sent by your institutes to give lectures to different colleges, schools, after that even for some other universities, fine, to pick up the face value of your organization, right? So in that case, always when you are having some sound entrepreneurship self or sound entrepreneurial ecosystem, then obviously you can say like this, that when you are coming to our organization, because SDP is generally done for the betterment, for the help of the marketing team also. So in that language, I'm speaking now, that obviously when you are saying that, if you are going there and saying that we have a very sound entrepreneurship cell, very good entrepreneurship ecosystem, by this, are you not sending a message to other organizations that when you are coming to our organization or joining to with our organization, especially undergrad students or under 12 students, that when you are coming to our organization, you are having laddus in your both your hands. आपका दोनों हाथ में लड्डू है, because we are having placement cell, guaranteed job you will be having. But after 3 years, but why you will try for only placement? Why you will not try for an entrepreneurial venture in your career? You can say it by the help of the infrastructure that you are having, isn't it? So binary game, you can say dono haath mein laddu. In this way you can present your organization. Next, small games for entrepreneurship and innovation. You can make small games, right? And from that you can also teach them entrepreneurship and innovation in this SDP or 1 or 2 hours. You can play some small entrepreneurship and innovation games there, right? And finally, test as a play on entrepreneurship. Test. Let me show one more of my questionnaire. You will get it. This type of peer assessment test. Fine, you are giving it to them. You take their name, enrollment number, and also contact number. By this contact numbers will be coming to your organization. How your marketing team can follow. You take this type of assessment test, by which, see, the main element of entrepreneurship when you are coming to intensity, orientation, all those things, proactiveness, innovativeness, risk taking, focus, commitment, right? Creativity, innovation. This small type of test you can take, and immediately after taking the test, you can give them this input that your score is like this, your score is like that, isn't it? That will always create an impression that will be helpful for you also. Well, the next one, holding workshops and entrepreneurship. How? Entrepreneurship understanding students in the workshop. The workshop there, I have taken one photo. I have conducted many workshops from there. Only this photo is being taken. Next, innovation workshop. Give them food for thought, and you ask them how innovation is coming out. I'm giving one example. I'm giving one example to you. What is this? You can see the podiums, right? But you ask them that these podiums are there, but in these podiums, where are the value additions taking place? More and more, this could be a game. More and more they can add up. That in the first podium, this is the addition. You can see 4 mics. In the second 2, the next one is a transparent one. In this way, more and more inputs they are giving, more and more points they are getting. A good game for 1 hour. Now, don't take. I have given one example. There may be more examples, more pictures you can present, and after that, say what is the value addition in this product in this picture. This could be one of the games, right? In this way, we can think for. Well, next, business plan development. If it is a total day program, you can go for a business plan development. After that, you ask them to sell that business to other groups, and after that, other groups will say that I am going to purchase this product in this at this point of at this money. Say A team is from the other teams, they are getting 5 rupees, 6 rupees, 7 rupees, 8 rupees. The B team is getting 4 rupees, 3 rupees, 2 rupees, 1 rupees. Now you calculate all these scores, and at the end of the day, you say that the A group's product is being sold at the maximum price. This one, caselet. We have Tejo Kote, we have Dhirubhai Ambani, we have many entrepreneurs, and we can give them the story as a caselet to them, and after that we can ask them that search out that what were the knocking point for their entrepreneurial development. In this way, which point actually sparked their entrepreneurial acumen. In this way we can ask. Management development program now, within few days, only in my part, I am accumulating all the business houses to conduct this management development program. So you can also think for the management development program, and also management development program for those who have done their business for 4 to 5 years. Now they, after that they have accumulated the money, and now they want to go for a new career, as a startup, or side by side they want to start it as a startup. And after that, when their business will be running fine, they will totally switch off their present job and come to the business totally. Target this type of person for whom you will be conducting your MDP, and I can vouch for it. In these cases, the success is maximum, because they are having a mindset that we will go for a business in the coming days, and we are looking for our business in the coming days. So this, by MDPs, they are also coming to know about the shortfalls, isn't it? Next, entrepreneurship game session, already I have said. Fine. The next one, to some extent I am running out of time also. Next responsibility is organizing conferences and seminars. These are also our responsibilities. Now, how we can help us out? That is, you organize, obviously, if it is entrepreneurial based workshop, seminars, or seminars or conference, that is totally okay. All outputs will be coming in terms of entrepreneurship only. Like I can say about my previous organization, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. They have a biennial conference, right? Each and every 2 years they have a biennial conference on entrepreneurship. So the total things that are coming output of this of all those papers that are submitted, this is entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship. But when it is different other type topics conference, then you cannot expect it. But check the outputs, and if any entrepreneurial output is coming from the papers, after that stack it. After that, whatever collection of entrepreneurial thoughts are coming, you disperse to your different departments that this type of outputs are coming. If you can make a project out of it, if you can make a paper out of it. Finally, this is not our responsibility, but out of responsibility, I'm saying I get all those things, that we can go for the entrepreneurship summer camp, mainly with students below 12th standard. It will be very good for them also, the students, those who are coming to your organization, as well as for your organization. They will be coming to know about your organization, having a good thought about your organization, and after that they will also join your organization. Maximum time it happens. Second, entrepreneurship knowledge cell for school. Fine. Try to have in your locality entrepreneurial knowledge cell in all the schools. Again, obviously, from the part of what you have to say, from the part of marketing and visibility. Local community visit. Yes, without community, entrepreneurship is nothing. Fine. So take your students time to time to the local community, at least once in a year. You can do it. After that, ask them to check that where the problem is lying in the community, and from that problem, can you develop some business plans, some ideas. Next, government project mapping. See, government in this budget also, they are coming with a different type of ideas, projects, and also there are different type of recommendations policies. If those policies and all those things fit with your entrepreneurial research, entrepreneurial task that is given to you, check it, try to map it. And within your organizational setup, if the things could be developed, check it. Marketing and entrepreneurship sell collaboration. Yes, you don't have to do the marketing, but go with, if you are running the entrepreneurship cell, go with your marketing team, and also wherever they are going, say them that we are also having a entrepreneurship cell, and it is a double laddu in your both the hand. In this way, you can convey this message. You conduct an SDP, conduct a workshop there, small workshop, and also say them this thing. Third, rural trip for entrepreneurship development. It is good, as I said about the local community visit. It is a rural trip for entrepreneurship development, and it is in the nearby. Every universities are having what do I have to say, in the catchment area. They are having rural maximum, because the universities are grown in a part, they need a lot of land. So in the cities it is almost impossible, so they are constructing them themselves in the rural areas, or very catchment area to the cities. So obviously each and every universities or HEIs are getting some rural areas very near to them. Rural visit, make the rural visit, and also try to catch up their problems. And from these problems, if any business solution, rather social entrepreneurial business solution, could be given to the local community, just check for it. Dedicating training group formation, that is dedicated training group. Make a dedicated training group in your organization, entrepreneurial training group. So whenever a call comes from other organization, in my previous organization it was there, whenever this type of call is there, you can readily go with the training group and train them. You don't have to search from which department who will come and take up the team at that point of time. Next, local entrepreneurship. If you can go for a local, is global plus local. Means if you can sell your local products to the global community, if they are they are interested in your products, and after that you say them, come invest here and we can have a good partnership. Next, entrepreneurship project tracker. Different schemes are there of government. They come with the advertisement. Now, whenever you are tracking this, give in your website of your university that this is the project. I need the help. Say for myself, I know I have only the knowledge of an entrepreneurship, but I don't have the knowledge of finance. I need also the help of marketing. In that case, what will happen? In that case, I will ask for some marketing guys or financial guys to help me out. Now I have said many things. I also have to say you that for this faculty members and students, what they are having in the National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019, what NISP has suggested, what are the cushion that is given by NISP for the faculties and the students? That is, higher education institutes may allow their students to work on their innovation projects and setting up startups, or work as intern part-time in startups. You will say that you are saying many other things, but where we are getting the cushion? NISP has given this clear-cut cushions for you. Student inventors may also be allowed to opt for the startup in place of their mini project, major project. The area in which student wants to initiate a startup may be multidisciplinary. Students who are under incubation but are pursuing some entrepreneurial ventures while studying should be allowed to use the address of the institute. I am running fast because time is almost gone. Student entrepreneurs should be allowed to sit for the exam even if their attendance is less than the minimum permissible percentage with due permission from the institute. HEIs should allow the students to take a semester break to work on the startups and rejoin academics to complete the course. Student entrepreneurs may earn academic credits for their efforts while creating an enterprise. Institute should set up a review committee for the review. Now for the faculty members. For the faculty members, because you are the faculty members, you are there, so I have to say it for you. Allow faculty and staff to take off of a semester as sabbatical, unpaid leave, casual leave, earned leave for working on the startup. Institute should consider allowing use of its resources to faculty to establish startup as a full-time effort. The seniority and other academic benefits during such period may be preserved for such faculties. For staff and faculty, institute can take no more than 20% of the shares that faculty takes or take while withdrawing their salary from the institution. Participation in the startup related activities need to be considered as a legitimate activity of the faculty in addition to teaching, research and development projects, industrial consultancy and management duties. Every faculty may be encouraged to list one startup, product development and commercialization as participating and nurturing of startups would be added to the bucket of faculty duties. So before I go, these are some of the tips for my faculty friends. The triggers that you can get are the existing problems for the entrepreneurial help for your students, that are existing problems, resources, capacity building, observing trends. But check whether these ideas that are coming are implicable, innovative, and impactful. Next, always target those type of entrepreneurial venture that is also having social goals. I can vouch for it. It will garner the different funds very easily. Third, always target for lean startup. That means just if you can start your entrepreneurial venture through this laptop only, as much less as money that you can do, you can employ. Having a noting, say your student have a noting habit and have a idea bank concept. Start with the consideration. This is the way where you and your students can proceed. Start with the consideration that you have to start with the lean entrepreneurship concept. Believe that you have to stand on your accumulated money, grow the business at the best extent, and next seek for family, friends, peers help. Next, check for the bank loans. This should be the trajectory, and cultivate of your business, cultivate your first business in such a pattern that it becomes a fund supplier for your next business. With this suggestion, I come to an end. Well, uh, let me put. Oh, I am running out of that.
Further, I would request you to kindly answer the queries in the chat box, which has been shared. Three questions.
Yeah, obviously. Thank you. Where is okay. Yeah. See, the practical method, it could be, as at the beginning I have said, that go for the calendar practice. Calendar practice means, see, any type of lesson or any type of the theories are totally impractical until and unless you are attaching that thing with with the practical or the ongoing aspect. So ask them, whatever you have learned, can you relate that thing with the newspaper, the news that are going on? Can you relate that thing with the market condition right now? Give this as an exercise. Then I have said about the noting bank, that whatever problem that you are facing, you ask your students to note them down. As I said, the problems are the mother of the entrepreneurial trigger points, right? So what we can do, that give them the trigger in this way. Give them the trigger that these are the problems. From this, can you develop any entrepreneurial idea, any business idea? In this way, right? Am I able to settle down your query? I have at the beginning also I have shown some newspaper clips, today's news. In the news, you are seeing something related to IT, our Nirmala Sitaraman's budget, and I have linked those things with entrepreneurship. What type of entrepreneurial venture will be benefited by that? You can give this knowledge. Uh, is it okay, madam? Or sir, I don't know. After that, any other questions? Is it okay? Please let me know. Thank you so much for giving. Okay, okay, madam. Advocate P. Vanilla Naidu. Naidu sir, madam, sorry to say. Uh, thank you. Thank you so much. Any other
Thank you,
questions?
Dr. Anyone have any question or any query? Okay, we need to proceed further. So thank you, Dr. Anil Jyoti. It was a wonderful speech and thank you for sharing your tips and strategies. Please share your email address in the chat box. If any of our audience have any query, they may seek out to you. And please don't hesitate to reach via the email address in the chat box.
Okay, fine. I'm giving my.
Our final. Sure. Our final speaker today is Dr. Prashant Sharma, who is a distinguished academic and seasoned professional with extensive experience in both the corporate and educational sectors. Currently a professor at Diwan Institute of Management Studies, Meerut. Dr. Sharma has been instrumental in teaching and shaping future business leaders in various subjects, including marketing management, consumer behavior, and international business. Dr. Sharma earned his PhD from CCS University in 2014, focusing on the financial products of private and public sector banks, specifically ICICI Bank and State Bank of India. Further, I would like to invite Dr. Prashant and request him to commence his speech.
Just I would to stop you one minute. That is, with your permission, I am leaving this room. Can I? Thank you so much.
Okay, a very good evening to everyone. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Okay, ma'am. Then today, myself, Dr. Prashant Sharma, and the topic which I am going to discuss and present is regarding assessing and evaluating entrepreneurial skills. Why we should assess and why we should evaluate the entrepreneurial skills, why it is essential. So today we will discuss all those things and different aspects related with it. So let me first share PowerPoint presentation with you and wait for. Is now PowerPoint presentation visible to everyone?
No, not exactly.
No, no problem. Within a minute, I'm going to do that.
Sure.
I think that now it is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it is visible. Thanks a lot to everyone. Now, let us start with, before discussing assessing and evaluating entrepreneurial skills, let us start what are entrepreneurial skills. Basically, entrepreneurial skills are the set of abilities by which an entrepreneur can run business with success. We can say that these are the skill set or different traits within an entrepreneur by which he can run an organization successfully, he can survive and he can manage it with profitability. Now, to our next point, why we should assess and evaluate entrepreneurial skills. A question comes in our mind that why we should do this. Basically, these things can be used to evaluate entrepreneurship efficiency after imparting different types of entrepreneurial training programs to know the program impact on entrepreneurs, how much they have learned. This is one of the importance that we can define. Then second is to know the entrepreneurial potential of existing entrepreneurs. It is also very essential that whether the existing entrepreneurs have some sort of potential or not, or at what stand they are standing. Then to analyze the training needs of entrepreneurs. After the assessment of an entrepreneur, we will be able to know that what type of training, how much time regarding the training will be required for that entrepreneur. Then by this assessment, we can design better entrepreneurial development programs for the betterment of entrepreneurs and eventually for the betterment of our nation also, as economy is directly linked with entrepreneurship. And then better scoring entrepreneurs can be given different types of aid by government or private bodies. All of us know that government promotes entrepreneurship, and those entrepreneurs who score good on these tests can be given financial aids and other types of monetary and non-monetary incentives by our government and also by various private bodies to promote entrepreneurship in their different regional areas. Now, I would like to discuss different techniques to assess entrepreneurial skills. There are different ways and methods which have been designed by the various knowledgeable persons in this field as to how to assess, how to know about the entrepreneur, that what type of skills he is having, in which type of skill set he is lacking. So basically, in this, the very first type of the test and measurement comes as assessment on the basis of rating scale. What we do in this, you have to construct several statements regarding the different parameters of entrepreneurial skills. Different options are given to the entrepreneur for every statement. Out of them, he has to choose one from many. Each option has different scores. After conducting the test, composite score is calculated. On the basis of composite score, entrepreneurial skills efficiency can be analyzed. Means different statements are given, then different marks are allotted to different options, and then after the attempting of complete test, usually containing 30 to 40 or even 50 in some cases statements, the composite score is calculated, and then we can know or we can come to a conclusion that how much efficient is the entrepreneur who is at present existing doing the business, or a potential entrepreneur who has recently graduated and from an engineering college, he has done any type of education for business management, or he has done his masters in computer applications, or in any field or in any field, or graduate from any field. So now, what type of statements are required to be constructed on these entrepreneurial skill sets? We have to discuss first of all, because before the construction of statements, we have to just think about and we have to do a brainstorming as to what type of statement we can ask. The one dimension is business management skills. It is a very essential dimension, and a potential entrepreneur or a probable entrepreneur who is going to be an entrepreneur or an existing entrepreneur should have business management skills. Basically, these skills include leadership. We can ask questions regarding leadership, strategic thinking, whether he is a plant thinker or not, budget management, he can manage the budget or he can plan his finances or not. Business acumen means that he has businessmanship or he has the guts and abilities to run the business or not. The second one are,
Rajat,
yes, ma'am, communication and listening. Communication and
no.
listening skills include written communication, if he is good in written communication or not. Non-verbal communication, whether he is okay with facial gesture. There are certain type of communication which do not go in written or oral way, but with the help of verbal communication. I think that there is noise coming from some of the audience, so
No.
kindly mute yourself uh, and please pay attention.
Anjali
To
Singh, I would like to request you to mute yourself once.
please pay attention to what I am telling. And then he should be an active listener. He should be an active listener also from his employees, from his other colleagues, fellow colleagues, business colleagues, and other his friends also. Then critical and creative thinking skills. He should create or he should generate or he should have the power to analyze things. Business needs analyze. Brainstorming, he should have the ability to storm his brain and then to conclude or to some ideas, to some problems and evaluate some problems. Visualization, he should be a good visualizer of the future. He should anticipate, he should have the power to anticipate the future. Evaluation, he can do evaluation qualitatively as well as quantitatively also. Research, he has the ability to research regarding his markets. Whatever product he is manufacturing, he should have the ability to research on the market. Then entrepreneurial skills in the workplace. What are the entrepreneurial skills required in workplace? The first is time management. He should be time punctual. He should be able to manage his time. He has got 24 hours of time, but I should not say 24 hours. He has got some 12 to 16 hours of time, and he should manage it smartly and in a calculated way so that he can run his enterprise with success. Then finance skills, he should have the ability to grasp financial aspects, his balance sheet, profit and loss accounts, cash flows, fund flows, etc., working capital management, how to manage capital, from where to raise funds, and how to allocate them in his business place. Sales, definitely he should have a good insight regarding the sales also. Sales and marketing, how to market my product, how to market my company, how to sell my product, and how to sell my company. Adaptability, he should be adaptable as per the changing situation. Everyone knows that the situation changes around the business world. And as the situation changes, the various types of environmental factors shows change, economical and factor also, technological, government, political, legal. He should be adaptable to that change. He should not be rigid. Then problem solving ability. The entrepreneur should have got problem solving ability also within him. So this is also required and essential. Now, teamwork and leadership skills. He should have teamwork and leadership skills. It includes emotional intelligence. He should be emotionally stable. He should not be a person full of anger or full of weaknesses. Empathy, a feeling of generousness towards the other, then he should have the ability to delegate work to others. Then conflict resolution ability, he should have the ability to resolve the conflict also. When conflicts arise among the employees, his employees, he should have this ability to resolve the conflict also. Is this clear? I am going on the next slide. Then stress management skills, obviously, they also comes on the forefront, that whether he is able to manage his stress or not, as business is such a case in which stress often generates. It plays a lot of role in the success or failure of a business person. He should be a positive thinker. He should have got the ability to for positive thinking. Mindfulness, he should practice mindfulness, means that he should remain present in present. Whatever is going at present, he should focus on those things. He should not be a type of person who is sort of absent-minded. Then sleep hygiene practices he should also maintain, otherwise he will not be able to work efficiently. And whether he do his exercises or not regularly. So now let us explain these things and these factors with the help of examples. We have discussed that certain statements we have to create regarding all these traits or capabilities, and then we have to analyze a person. How we will construct them, let us understand with the help of example. It will start as read the statements given to you and tick the option most suiting you. We will write, first of all, we will mention in this way, and we will provide different weightages or different powers to the different options, and so that he can take a particular option, such as he will be given first option, option number one, or tick at the option number one, totally disagree. Second, somewhat disagree. Third, somewhat agree. And fourth, totally agree. Examples. The first statement which we are going to discuss is, I like to give myself challenges when I take on a new project. It will be a statement that will be given to an entrepreneur. He can be a potential one, a new one, or an existing one, and we will like to judge his ability of entrepreneur potential. Suppose he takes on option number 4, then he says that he is completely agree to give himself challenges when he is on a new project. So he scores high. We assign a score to each and every sentence. Suppose, say for in this example, we score 4 to 4 and 1 to 1, since 1 is the negative mode sentence and 2, 3, 4 are chronologically increasing, and we will assign more marks to the chronologically positively increasing options. If he takes at the option 2, that is that I disagree, then he is not a worthy person of entrepreneurship, or he is not a skilled entrepreneur. He needs training, a sort of training when in which his abilities to face challenges can be evolved or generated. Second sentence, I am fairly at ease in difficult situations. He has to assume. He says, I am completely disagree. Option number 1, he opts option number 1. So it means that he is lacking in entrepreneurial skills. We will assign him a score of just 1. And if he says that 4 or third, that yes, I agree. Third means agree and fourth means completely agree. So it means that he is fairly at ease. He can handle calmly the difficult situations, the situations that arise that create stress. Where others see problems, third statement you can see, I see possibilities, means that he is a problem solver. Again, if he goes or opts for the right hand option, fourth one, he scores positively, third less, second less, and 1 is the least score. Now come to the fourth option. I always worry about what others will think before doing any work. Now, wait for a while. This sentence is somewhat on the other way. I always worry about what others will think before doing any work. If he takes the option number 4 and he says that completely agree, it means he is on the negative end, because it is not a good trait of an entrepreneur who will always worry that before starting any venture, before taking any decision, I will worry, I will think about all the pupils. So, what type of person he will be? He will not be able to take decision. Now, how to calculate his score? No problem at all. In this situation, we will assign the marks in reverse chronological order. The fourth option will get the least marks of 1, the third will get 2, and the second will get the third, and the first one will get the fourth, because the first option says that completely disagree. I never worries. So, whenever you are going to check the entrepreneurial status of your students that are interested in enterprises, or you are conducting any after the conduction of an entrepreneur program, such type of statements can help you a lot, because you will be able to ultimately reach to a particular conclusion as where this person is standing. Fifth one statement is, I am fairly curious and I am continually in search of discovery. It is a very positive and favorable sentence. And if we go towards the right end or towards the option number 4, he is a positive scorer. And if he goes towards the left end, towards marks 1, 3, 2, 1, then he is a least scorer. It means that he should be trained, his curiosity should be generated through the training program. I am a lot less effective in stressful situations. Again, business means a stressful situation, and taking decision in stressful situations. If he takes fourth, he is very efficient. If he takes third, he is somewhat efficient. If he takes a second, he disagrees, he is not efficient. And if he takes first, he says, I completely disagrees. I am very much if very less effective in stressful situations. Then we have to mark according to them. In similar manner, these statements will go seventh. Let us discuss this statement also. I want to build something that will be recognized publicly. It means that he has a type of feeling that he wants to create an enterprise that can be recognized by the general public. Again, if he scores or he chooses the option number 4th, 3rd, 4th, he is on the positive end. And again, if he opts for first or second, he is on the negative end. Then, when faced with difficulties, I look for alternative solutions. An entrepreneur should be capable of looking for alternative solutions also when he is facing difficulties. So again, the fourth one option is the most suitable, and the third, second, and the first are not much suitable. Ninth statement says, for me, what counts is action. We are analyzing him on this manner, but for me, what counts is action. It means that he is an action-oriented person. We want to judge him on this scale. For me, it is possible to influence one's destiny. It means that he is the person who can make the destiny of others also. He can provide employment to others also. He can provide good salary and wages to others. I am capable of imagining how we can make things work. He is a good thinker, he has got good imagining qualities. When I take on a project, I have confidence that I will carry it out successfully. It is a matter of confidence that whether that person is full of confidence or not. So then I shoot for excellence in everything I do. I opt for excellence. I think that I should go for the betterment. It is also a positive trait or positive skill set. According to me, we somehow make our own luck. A very good statements, and those persons who have got entrepreneurial capabilities will score or will take the options number 3rd or 4th. That they will say that I have taken education, I have studied. Now I will make my destiny myself through my hard work, through my calculated work. In general, then 15th statement, statement number 15, in general, I distrust my instincts. Then again, this uh, statement is on the negative side. It is not on the positive side because he says that I distrust my instincts. Means that whatever instinctively his mind is saying, he is not ready to follow it. So when he will choose option number third or fourth, agrees, third means agrees or fourth means completely agrees. So it means that he have to score on the negative end. So the evaluators have to allot the least marks, or in reverse chronological order, we have to provide marks because ultimately it will be the composite score of all these statements that will decide his entrepreneurial efficiency. I have no problem working for someone else. He has no problem. Entrepreneur should have no problem because entrepreneur not only works for him, but he takes decision, he thinks, he strategizes, and ultimately he visualizes and he takes risks for his employees also, for the betterment of his employees, so that they can get their salary. As when company will rise, the employees will also rise. I try to be the first or the best in my area of competency. Generally, these are the feelings with very high energetic entrepreneur. So this statement will, by the help of this statement, we will be able to know the energetic entrepreneur. For me, taking risk is like statement number 18. For me, taking risk is like buying a lottery ticket. It is a question of chance. It means that he is ready to make gamble and he is ready to invest his money. He is ready to lose his money also if his business does not succeeds. I am capable of seeing many solutions to a problem. He has been judged. He has been judged. I am capable of seeing many solutions to a problem. Then it is a positive thing. That he is capable of seeing many solutions to a problem. Again, it is a positive question, as most of the questions when we construct, we think in our mind or we design in our mind that they should be on positive end, but some questions should be on negative end also, because this is only the right way. Success is mostly luck. This statement is confusing someone. Some entrepreneurs who are full of confidence, who are full of energy, they are educated or not, they will say that success is not only the luck, but also our hard work, dedication, and our working style. So, in this statement, we will give least marks or less marks towards the options which are falling on the right hand side, third, fourth, and higher marks on the first and second, because nowadays an entrepreneur should not only rely on luck but also on his all his calculations, evaluations, his visualizing capabilities. Now, a certain level of stress stimulates me. There are certain persons who cannot bear stress at all. There are certain persons who can bear somewhat of stress. An entrepreneur should be of that type of person who can bear a certain level or high level of stress also, or continuous level of stress. And he is cool and calm with his nerves and he is able to take decisions on various aspects regarding finance, regarding marketing, regarding general administration, and regarding general production also. Then again, there is one more sentence. It is easy for me to motivate others to work with me. He should be a good motivator. Then, if he can motivate others to work, it means that his employees will follow him. It is a positive trait. Then again, on the third and fourth, he will score good. I often feel stuck by a difficult situation. It is a negative statement. We have to pay attention to this statement. and we have to provide higher scores on the left hand side options, means first, second, third, and fourth. If he says that yes, I completely agree and I feel stuck by difficult situation, then it is very impossible, or it is very difficult, we can say, that he will become a successful entrepreneur. I can easily imagine many ways to satisfy uh, I can easily imagine many ways to satisfy a need. It is again on positive end. Then, after a failure, I am able to pick myself up and start over. After the entrepreneur has failed in one venture, he should be able to go for or opt for another adventures also. So, it is a positive sign. The options number third and fourth agree, and fourth completely agrees are on the positive scoring side. We can assign them as it is marks third and fourth. I am not always ready to make sacrifices in order to succeed. This is a negative one. He should be ready to make sacrifices in order to succeed. So, if he opts for option number third or fourth, then he is not an efficient entrepreneur. I don't like to influence others. It is this statement is also on the negative end. I don't like to influence others. It means that your entrepreneurial skills are not good. You need or requires training or whatsoever. So again, the option number one, two, three, option number one will get the highest marks, and because it states completely disagree, I like to influence, and fourth says I don't like to influence. And then the statement number 32, to be satisfied with myself, I take on easy projects. Means that the entrepreneur is saying that I am easygoing person. I don't like difficult situations, and I will easily, I want easy tasks, easy things to do in my life. So this is not a right virtue of an entrepreneur. And if he ticks on the fourth option or the third option says agrees, fourth option says completely agrees, first option says completely disagrees, second option says somewhat agrees. So in this, the option number one and two, if he opts for them, will be of more marks. Just a minute. I want to discuss one thing more also. Many evaluators and the persons who conduct tests, they construct statements, say 20, 30, 40, more than 40 also they can construct it, and they assign equal numbers to all these statements. But some assessors or the persons who take test after the training or a random entrepreneur, they basically designs statements and they thinks that what type of weightage should be given to a particular sentence. So it is not common that uneven assignment of numbers or uneven scores can be assigned to different statements. For example, let us discuss the question number 20, statement number 29 and 30. After a failure, I am able to pick myself and start over. A person who is creating tests, who is a trainer, he thinks that it is of much importance. He can assign it greater marks. He can assign 5 marks, 6 marks as per his decision. The decision is solely depends upon the evaluator. For the 30th option, I am not always ready to make sacrifices in order to succeed. He is not always ready to make sacrifices in order to succeed. But the entrepreneur should make sacrifices. But up to how much extent? It is up to the evaluator that how much marks he decides. Suppose, say, for him, for a particular individual, I am not talking about in general, for a particular test taking person, this statement has less weightage than the previous 129, that he can assign 4 marks and the previous one can be given 5 marks. The marks variation can be given, and often nowadays the marks variation is also practiced because the intensity of entrepreneurial capabilities is not almost same for all these statements. So earlier it was the practice to give even marks to all these statements. Nowadays, many evaluators are giving uneven marks also, or marks upon their on their decision. I don't like to influence others. Again, if he ticks at the option number 4, then what it means? That he is not a good person, or he is not having the entrepreneurial capability. He says, I completely agree. He needs training. Training is provided by different organization, by different government organizations also, like Small Scale Industry Services Organization, NICE, National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development. There are various organizations which are constructed and run by our government all over India, district industry centers on very small scale in every city. They are the continuously entrepreneurial training programs are conducting those also. So decision can be taken according to them. To be satisfied with myself, I take on easy projects. That it means that he is a easygoing person. So it is a very effective technique of assessing and evaluating the entrepreneurial skills of entrepreneurs. Usually we practice these techniques at random also, whenever before the start of a training program, in between of a training program also, and after the completion of a training program also, to enhance his entrepreneur capability. We want to check that if he has learned something, or if this student has learned something.
Excuse me, Dr.
Yes,
Sharma. We have some questions in the chat box. If you can just have a look there.
At present now, I should answer, or after the finishing of this complete presentation?
I suggest to answer them immediately and then
No problem.
presentation.
No problem at all. I will answer. Yes. Basically, I am unable to see the
in-call messages. The in-call messages option is the way.
in-call messages.
Yeah, the
In-call
first
message.
option.
Okay. In what way can triangulation enhance the validity and reliability of qualitative research findings, and what are some practical strategies for implementing triangulation in a study focused on conceptual research? Basically, I think that it is not much related with our topic of discussion, because it is related more with the research, because you are saying on a particular thing that in what ways we can use triangulation enhance. In what ways can triangulation enhance? Triangulation is a technique to enhance the validity and reliability of qualitative research findings. And what are some practical strategies for implementing triangulations in a study focused on conceptual research? Basically, this type of research is not entirely descriptive research. This type of research is not qualitative, but it is numerical based research, I want to say to you who asked the question, as it is numerical based. So not much of brainstorming, or not much of such type of conceptual research, or such type of things we have to think, or such type of frames we have to take in our mind. If we are a good trainer, we can design questions and we can assign numerical values to them. So At present, the technique which we are using is not of a qualitative research. Qualitative technique I will discuss later on. Let me come on that aspect. I will discuss that also. It is purely a numerical technique based on the assumption that whatever his score will come, we will categorize that person in that situation. What role do partnerships with industry and community organizations play in enhancing entrepreneurship education, and how these partnerships, just a minute, can I read this question? And how these partnerships be structured to provide meaningful real world experience for students? Yes, this is a very valuable question. Definitely, industry and community organizations can play a great role. Nowadays, we can see that there is an industry and student and academia interface. We have in our institutions got various memorandum of understanding signed with the industries, different industries, in which we conduct different types, our students conduct different types of project. They are the part of their team. They test their entrepreneurial skills. They work on marketing, finance, and the role of admin. They also work on technical aspects, engineering aspects, and they groom their entrepreneurial skills over there. So industry has a lot of scope nowadays for each and every education student of students has to be in collaboration with industries or communities so that the practical tasks can be assigned to them and the students can gain a better knowledge and understanding so that they can become successful entrepreneurs of the future also. And second thing is that the industry also gets benefits from these things because they also do work. The students do work. They also provide them with some sort of marketing support, some sort of market research, some type of financial analysis, some type of admin also. So this is a mutual way. This is a mutual way in which both the parties, the students, the trainers, or the industry gets benefit. So is this okay? Should I go with the presentation?
I believe we have
Or
another question from Mr. Siddiqui, who raised his hand a minute back.
okay,
Yeah, Mr. Siddiqui, if you would like to speak.
good evening. Okay, okay. Okay. Yes, yes, definitely. See, if you see that your products or your techniques can be copied by the your partners or easily copied by the partners, you should not opt for the partnership ventures. In initial, you can take the run with the partnership firm. It is a very little type of firm, a very small firm, and then later on you can go with the private limited firm. You can run your own firm also, and it also depends on business to business. Certain businesses can run with partnerships also, and certain businesses cannot run, can be run without partnerships. So nowadays, it depends upon the product. In your case, in handicrafts and other things which you are which you are telling, are manufactured and they are being copied since it is a small scale business and SSI business, small scale industry business. Government also does not promote partnership in this line. Government says that government provides various types of microfinance. Microfinance, and Small Industrial Development Bank of India, SIDBI, SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India, definitely will come for your rescue and for your help. Then there are various financial organizations that are state-based, that are owned by the state. Then various national level banks, they will also fund you. But if in the case, if in your case your product can be copied, then never opt for partnership. Or it has been done because your ideas or your concepts can be ultimately stolen, because no matter you will opt for copyright or other things, but it is not the reality or practical situation. So decide accordingly in handicrafts and in such type of small scale ventures. A single person or a single entrepreneur with his family persons is much better suited to run his enterprise than with the help of his employees. But by having a better vigil on his employees also, because later on these employees can become employers also. So it is to be decided accordingly or as per the time and situation. So it is not a easy thing to say that yeah, it is a hard and fast solution. It depends on situation to situation. So I think that you are able to understand financial problem you will not be having of starting such type of business. Government is there, Startup India, Make in India. Government is there to help you. Various type of microfinance facilities are available by the government and they are being given by the government aided bank. You can go and come up with those schemes and you can start with your own at your own native state. So should I start with the rest part of the presentation?
Sure, Dr.
Okay. Then there are multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions are also another sort of trick in which a evaluator and trainer decides to assess his students. He is training, he is teaching his student, but he should be able to know that where is his students are standing. So again, different sets of entrepreneurial skills are checked through these questions. Leadership qualities, whether he has got leadership qualities, management abilities, team working abilities, risk taking ability, ability to work in odd hours, almost all those skill sets which we previously discussed, because those are the only skill sets, those are almost those skill sets contain 90% of those skills which are required for running an enterprise correctly. But the question framed in different manner here, and here more than one option or more than one option can be correct. Product specific knowledge, market knowledge, data analysis ability, financial abilities, stress bearing abilities, knowledge about entrepreneurships are also checked. So in it specific marks are assigned for each correct answer so that the result can be analyzed. Again, in this, it is on your own decision that whether you will assign even marks or you will have a variation of marks depending upon the strength or intensity or importance of the question that you are framing. For example, for how many hours you are willing to work daily for your business. Suppose for a evaluator, it is a very important question. Up to 6 hours, he has given an option. Up to 8 hours, up to 12 hours, more than 12 hours. So in this, if the student or the person who is receiving training, he is into entrepreneurship, he is running his enterprise 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 10 years, but he is still in his training, he takes the student or the present one more than 12 hours, then it is a good option, because generally an entrepreneur has to work for more than 12 hours. And suppose he takes for up to 6 hours or up to 8 hours, then he is an easygoing person. It is not easy for him to be successful in his entrepreneurship venture. So these types of questions will decide the capability. And suppose for the evaluator, he thinks that this question is of much importance. I should assign 4 marks to it. He assigns 4 marks to it. Then let us have a look on the second question. The idea generation process of entrepreneurship are germination, incubation, preparation, all of these. In this, the option number D is correct, all of these. So our purpose is that whatever training we have given to that person, because the idea generation process in entrepreneurship contains germination, incubation, preparation, all these. What knowledge he has grasped. Multiple choice questions will contain more about the knowledge, what knowledge he has grasped. If we will take a, then we will come to a conclusion that he has only a little bit of knowledge. It is on the discretion of the evaluator whether he will assign marks to that option or not, or he will assign all the marks to the option number D. It is based on his expertise. Then, after these two techniques are very popular and very good techniques. And the entrepreneurs, the persons who are doing or running at present their enterprises, especially small enterprises of their own, they can check their entrepreneurial skills and capability through going these statements and through going these options. They will be able to know. Again, for a new entrepreneur, for a student, they will be able to decide their potential also. So the student should also check after getting proper training or before starting an enterprise. They should check them these such type of questions, answering to such type of questions and statements. They will be able to know as to where they are standing. Then there is one another technique, that is case study technique. It is also given to existing entrepreneurs also on random basis also. They are called at the training center or by the trainer. They are provided the real life business situations, and then certain questions are asked and they have to write down their answers or they have to discuss them, whatsoever be the case. In some cases they have to discuss them, and in some cases they have to individually ask them. So basically, the case studies simulate real business situations are given to the entrepreneurs. So on the basis of answer analysis is done about the potential of entrepreneur. Are they able to find the solution to the problem? Various problems are generated of general administration, of marketing, of finance, of production, and then they have to come to a type of solution to that particular problem. The problem will be asked in the question, or in some cases they will have to discuss. But it is also a very good and efficient technique for analyzing the potential and also for the increasing of the potential. It is also a training method also, assessing as well as the training or tutoring method also. Through the analysis of case study, it is ascertained in which entrepreneurial skill sets they are good. There are different entrepreneurial skill sets which I have discussed earlier also, when this session then topic of entrepreneurship started. The initial speakers might have discussed a lot of entrepreneurial skills. So by these case studies, we come to know in which they are lacking, in which they are good, in which they are medium. So that further decision regarding their training or how much they are efficient can be taken. How much they are worthy of risk taking, how much money they can invest, in which entrepreneurial skill set they are not performing. We can analyze that in which entrepreneurial skill set they are not performing. Suppose we ask two questions, one regarding the general administration and the second regarding the marketing. If the person answers the marketing question correctly in the case study, but the admin part of question, the another question of admin part is not answered by him, that it means that he is lacking in his administrative skill. He should be polished or shaped accordingly. Then there is one another technique. It is also a very effective technique, but it takes a very lengthy period of time. It is time.
Excuse me, Dr. Sharma. I would like to request you to wrap it up in 2 minutes.
No problem. It is going
Sure.
to be wrapped in 2 minutes. See, in this method, when training of entrepreneurs is completed, their progress regarding their entrepreneurial state is analyzed after specific time periods. Say, for example, you have given certain persons have attended the entrepreneurship program. Now they are open in the market, open in this world. They will start with their enterprise. And for example, it could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. We can check to them. We can check them as where they have gone. It is analyzed that at present they are running business enterprise or not, because in almost all the researches, it has been seen that within a time span of 5 to 10 years, almost 90% of the new enterprises which are started turn up into failure. So it is very essential to know the practical aspects also. The earlier versions of testing were based on theoretical knowledge. It is in Western countries, it has been done and it is done rigorously, which are very successful in their entrepreneurship programs and their entrepreneurial skills. And in our country also, it should be motivated. How much they have grown in terms of revenue since the start of business, how much revenue they are generating, how much is their profitability. Suppose five persons get equal training, and after 5 years or 6 years and 7 years, the situation is different. One is two is out of business, one is doing business. His profitability is somewhat other, another one profitability is somewhat another. Then his entrepreneurial skill set can be analyzed on the basis of this one also. How many have turned into failures and how many are successful, so that better entrepreneurial training programs can be designed and devised. It is very essential that after the impartment of entrepreneurial training to the new students who are ready to become entrepreneurs in their future time, and for the existing entrepreneurs also, how many are successful after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Just you have to contact them. The agency has to contact them, the private body or the government body, and it has to do research on it. Are they satisfied with their present business or not? Whether they are satisfied or not. Then there is in the last that technique which was asked by some person by me, and I think that he said about qualitative analysis or qualitative assessment. These are in-depth interviews by trained psychologists. It is also mostly practiced in Western countries. In our country also, it is going to be introduced, and in some cases, it is introduced also in the case of many organizations. Such type of interviews are conducted by specially trained psychologists who can uncover the state of entrepreneurial skills of entrepreneurs. Basically, these are in-depth interviews. They can last from 3 minutes to 1 hour, and the interviewer or the assessor can ask semi-structured, unstructured, random questions, and it is all up to him. He will do qualitative analysis, no adding, no subtraction, no mathematical operation will be done in that. So in this case, we need a very expert person, a very expert psychologist who has a keen interest in or who has a keen knowledge of enterprises also. So random questions are asked about entrepreneurial situation. So these are the some of the ways or almost all the or some of the techniques which are used for the evaluation and assessment of entrepreneurs. Since entrepreneurs are the backbone of our country, as the entrepreneur will rise, our country will also rise, our economy will also rise. As finance and enterprises, we can say, are the blood of the body. Same is the case of our country. They are the blood of our country. And by these words, I'm going to sum up and I'm winding up my presentation. If any person has questions, he or she can ask.
Anyone who has questions may raise your hands, please. No questions, audience? Okay, no issues. Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for your amazing speech. I would like to request you to share your email ID in the chat box so that if any of our audience has any further questions or seeks further info, they can reach out to you
Okay,
directly.
okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem, sir. I will share my email ID in the chat box. Thanks a
Sure.
lot for listening to all.
Sure. Now, as we come to the end of this remarkable session of FDP 0.1, we would like to express a heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you. The knowledge shared, the insights gained, and the connections made have all contributed to the success of this faculty development program, session 2. We are truly grateful for all of your participation. As we wrap up this session, we kindly request all our attendees and speakers to take a moment to provide your valuable feedback and reviews on Google. Your input and thoughts are highly appreciated as they will help us improve future events and continue delivering high quality sessions and FDPs. Thank you for your participation and for being an integral part of this remarkable conference. We look forward to your reviews and hope to see you all at Faculty Development Program Session 3 tomorrow, again at the same time. Until we meet again, stay inspired, keep dreaming, and continue to strive for excellence. Thank you all and farewell for now.